Boozed and Bothered on occasion may contain content that readers and listeners find offensive or distasteful. The views and opinions expressed on this podcast or on the articles on the website are solely those of the individual authors, speakers, and or guests, and do not necessarily reflect the views of Boozed and Bothered as a whole or the views of any of Boozed and Bothered's affiliate or parent companies and organizations. Enjoy the show.
All right, let's start this. We'll cut all that shit out.
Yeah, whatever.
Um,
That's fine. What are we drinking? What are we?
okay?
No,
so
we were doing this one first, right?
okay, but hold on. What do we have? Because I
don't
didn't
know.
even-
You bought it.
First of all it said was pie beer, and I was like, sold mine.
Okay, so you got. Oh, this has got to be good.
That one I know is going to be good. 'cause
Yeah,
that's-
it's number one. It's High Water Brewing.
I love them.
I love High Water. Sugary maple pecan pie, aged on bourbon barrel oak chips, aged on bourbon barrel oak, not even in.
Okay, so I have the information on this one. I found
Fill
it.
your pie hole. Is what it
Yeah,
says.
I know it's going to be delicious. That one's maple pecan, but get this, I'm going to love this one. I think. I hope I will.
Why?
So this one is from the
Microphone.
God, I'm always so bad about this. So this one's pie beer from the Collective Brewing Project.
Yeah.
And it is suspicious delicious cobbled together with peach, apricot, cinnamon, and vanilla.
Ooh.
So I think it's probably going to be more like a cobbler pie, but I'm here for it.
Who brewed it?
Um,
It was like a collective, right?
yeah, the Collective Brewing Project.
Oh, so some commies.
No, there's food in this.
Socialists? I don't know.
Probably some damn hippies, but if hippies can brew good beer, you know,
I'm not really mad about it.
it's cobbler. They call it pie beer, but it sounds more like a cobbler
It's like
beer.
a peach fucking cobbler. It sounds amazing.
Yeah, it smells delicious. I hope the tulip beers are the right ones for this. Ooh, this looks light. This looks almost Belgian-y.
Oh, God. Now I'm worried.
Why?
Because I hate Belgian beers.
I don't think this is a Belgian beer. I said it just looks Belgian-y.
Okay. That's fine. We're okay with that.
Yeah, calm down, Daddy. Ridiculous.
Thank you.
See how it's
Cheers.
like- let's try this. I'm excited.
I'm excited.
Ooh, that's zesty.
I'm fine with that.
That's really zesty.
That's completely acceptable.
I taste the cinnamon. It's on the back end.
Yep.
I don't know what to do with that empty bottle.
That's fine.
It hurts my heart.
This is classified.
Yeah, I didn't know what any of the label meant. There was like a lot to that label, and I wasn't really sure what all of it meant. So, but I saw pie beer, and I was like, I like both those things. So this is probably going to be a good night.
I guess it's called classified brew. I'm assuming there's usually some fine print in here that.
I mean, I'm not really. There's a lot of fine print. That's the thing about the label is that there's a whole bunch of crap on there, and I was like, I don't know what any of this means.
Oh, I guess it is just the Collective Brewing Project. This is Fort Worth, Texas.
Good job, Texas.
Yeah, nailing it. Just gonna put that right over there.
Yeah, I don't know where they got the idea to do that, but I'm not mad about it. The apricot tastes delicious.
I know Texans tend to like pie, right? That's fine, right?
Yeah.
Is that okay to say?
I don't, lately I've met a lot of people that don't like pie, and I find that really
What the
uncomfortable.
fuck is wrong with them?
I prefer pie to cake.
Agreed. Absolutely.
I'm not a cake person, and it's not that I don't like the cake; it's that I don't like people's frosting. People
Right.
do some weird stuff with frosting, or
and
there's
put
too much.
way too much.
Mm-hmm.
Just way too much.
Mm-hmm.
But pie filling is.
Pie's just really good.
It just generally has a different consistency, you know, because cake is eating like really decadent, dense bread with a lot of sugar, you know.
Yeah, and I really do like. I like the cake itself.
Yeah.
I really don't like. One, I don't like the proportions usually. It's
Sure.
way too much.
Sure.
And two, I am not a frosting person.
Right.
It does not satisfy me. But pie, I love a good a fruit pie
Yeah.
that's not like. I mean, berries okay, but I really like a classic apple where it's not a lot of cinnamon. It's just like enough.
Yeah.
I love.
Oh, I love me a
apricot.
good apple pie. Apple pie.
Yeah.
Oh, hello. Apple pie.
I'm cool with pumpkin. I'm not a big fan of. There's something about the way that pumpkin pie tastes with the crust. The pumpkin filling and the crust don't usually line up for me.
You know, I like pumpkin pie. It just depends on how it's made, because that consistency, like, it has to be a certain sweetness to it. Some people make it so bland, and it's just eating like Jell-O without the sugar, and it's just really weird.
I've never had that. I've had the opposite, where it's just like pure. It's just like it's too
Oh,
much.
No.
I wanted to taste a little. I want the pumpkin pie to always taste like a little bit. I got like a squash, a little bit.
Okay.
A little bit more vegetative.
Pumpkin is.
It is, but I don't want it to taste like sugar,
Right.
like pure sugar, or like too sweet. I want it to taste a little bit more like pumpkin.
Well, I like it sweet.
Well, I also really my favorite.
What are
pie,
you laughing about?
My favorite pie is strawberry rhubarb. That I think is like that's an oaky thing. I think that I picked that up from. That's a little bit old world. When you put rhubarb in a pie,
I think that's fucking delicious.
Rhubarb is delicious, and with strawberry, it's not very sweet. It's like the perfect balance. But yeah, so all of that to justify my appreciation of this beer. I don't mind.
I don't have a problem with it.
I have no problems with that. But this beer is good.
No, it's delicious. I'm excited for this maple.
I know that one's gonna be good. Can you put that in the fridge? Actually, I know it'll be fine.
Yeah.
And while you're doing that and rustling around, saving our beer, I will introduce us and bring us into the fold. My name is Jonathan. This is Boozed and Bothered. We're not bothered yet, but we are drinking, so that's a thing.
And my name is Sean. I am your producer.
Mm-hmm.
Also co-host. And yeah, it is currently January 26th of 2018, and this is episode 9.
It is episode 9, and I'm really excited about it.
We're almost there. We're almost at 10.
I know. It feels really good.
It does.
I think we should just jump into this. I know that some people would prefer a warm-up for dense subjects, but
nah, fuck it.
I believe in just throwing bullshit at the wall and just seeing if it sticks.
Yeah. So, from the declaration, from the the Independent Journal Review today. Well, it's the declaration out of the IJR. We've got the Larry Nassar case.
Yeah, and this is from Caleb Hull. He's one of their primary writers.
Judge. The headline reads: Judge hands down blistering 175-year sentence to ex-Team USA doctor. Quote: I just signed your death warrant. Did you watch that video?
I did watch that
video. It was
video.
scathing.
You know, people are finding a way to be like really upset about her, and they call it like they say that she was grandstanding. And
God.
And I really just want to point out the fact that Larry Nassar received a 175-year prison sentence from her.
Right.
For after in court, they heard the stories of more than 150 women.
I think it was like around 175 women.
And I mean, this guy, he was the head of Team USA, and their doctor, their medical team.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is just, one, it's really gross, and two, it just kind of goes to highlight.
It's pretty disgusting.
The bad touch conversation that's been going on here in the past few months. Continually. Yes, and it's been evolving and touching every single aspect of everybody's lives, and it's just, I mean, Allie Reisman, I think, is the gymnast's name. Yeah. I watched her testimony, and she was I mean, she laid it all out there. And
she was like a meme a couple years ago.
Yeah, for having a sour face.
Yeah.
But, you know, she does. Listen, the judge's name is Rosemary Aquilina, I want to say. I'd have to double check that. But she,
that's how it's spelled. That's phonetically correct.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, she went in on him. And she said, one of her main quotes, "It is my honor and privilege to sentence you. You do not deserve to walk outside a prison ever again.
Yeah.
You have done nothing to control these urges, and anywhere you walk, destruction will occur to those most vulnerable." I mean, I watched her full thing, and she really went in, and she...
Oh, yeah. No, I watched the entire thing, too. He wrote a letter.
She didn't even read it.
No, he...
Good for her.
Yeah.
He can kick rocks.
Yeah, he wrote a letter to the court about how hard it is for him to listen to victim testimonies. And like...
She tossed it aside.
She did. She absolutely just was like, whatever. I mean, I don't know. That's just a little audacious to do that. And to
on
think,
her part,
on
or
his part. And to think you would get some, like, what was he shooting for there? Was he trying to get some form of sympathy? Was he trying to, I don't know what he was trying to garner, or what, if he even thought he could garner any favor in this case.
I mean, she really laid out, she was like, listen, you're a world-renowned medical personality.
Yeah.
You could have gone anywhere in the world. And she even said, she was like, in Europe, there are hidden places where you could have gone that nobody ever would have known about this. And they're built specifically for that reason, that no one would ever know, and you can go away and have full privacy for you to find some level of control over these urges and your predatory nature. But you've done nothing to do anything positive about this. You've done nothing to show that you give a damn, basically. And, you know, she pulled the hammer down. And she
did.
Sent him packing, and she had no remorse for being brutal.
And he was still treating people without a license, too. Even...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she mentioned that, too.
Yeah, she did toward the end, which you know, whatever, but that definitely puts it... Well, that's definitely not the cherry on the cake, but it's part of the icing.
Well, it just shows how arrogant and ridiculous he is.
Yeah.
Like, this is so uncontrollable or uncontrollably ridiculous.
Sure.
I mean, what he did was absolutely vile. All of everything that he did was absolutely vile. But,
yeah.
And, you know, even Ali Reisman, in her testimony, she went in so hard on USA Gymnastics. And fair or not fair, she kind of laid the hammer down herself, and she pointed out the fact that the training location was in the process of being shut down.
Yeah.
But not completely there. People were still training there. That she wasn't taken seriously, that nobody was taken seriously, that they were all made to feel like if they spoke out or said anything, they were the wrong ones. I mean,
yeah.
But she went in on USA Gymnastics, kind of follow up to all of this, and just brutalized them justifiably, but just kind of the dumb moves that, you know, the gymnastics organization made following all of these allegations. And it's like they knew that this was coming.
Oh, yeah. They're all resigning now, too.
Good. I mean,
the Olympic Committee has demanded that they resign in the wakes of the revelation of Larry Nassar.
And they absolutely should. I mean, how do you not... I know it sounds like I know it sounds like an easy question after the fact, and there's no, in reality, there's no easy answer to get to it. But how do you not? They had to know.
I mean,
they had to know that something was off.
What's not easy? Okay, this is more than 150 women. This is more than 150.
They were kids,
young women, girls.
These were children.
These were children. There are more than 150 young women testifying in this case. It's not even a matter of how you don't know. They had to know. It's just like it's the same thing as like Sandusky Paterno at Penn State. You had to know.
Well, and
how do you not make a move on this? How do you this is years in the making. Years in the making.
Well, and it's good that they're all resigning, but there has to be some follow-up repercussions there or just some repercussions, because that's kind of redundant. But
right,
he was put specifically in a position to be able to do this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Consistently, and I mean, like Ms. Reisman said, disgustingly, he was put in a position to give leadership on how to avoid these situations, which is, it's just sickening. And it's so, I mean, you almost want to look at these parents and shake them. But at the same time, some of these parents have put everything into their children's Olympic careers and athletic careers of any genre. And there is so much trust that has to go into that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's just, none of these people, the Olympic Committee is correct, but none of these people deserve any of their positions. Everybody should be let go, complicit or not, regardless of what rumors or anything. The whole thing should be wiped clean.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if prosecutions need to follow up or if investigations need to go on and dig up more dirt, then do it. But in the meantime, literally everybody failed.
Yeah.
This entire system failed all of these women, and they should all be wiped away.
Yeah,
There's just no excuse for it.
Heads need to roll.
And I don't give a damn about anybody being upset that in saying that Judge Aquilina was grandstanding or she was just showing off because of the case. She delivered him a whoop ass.
Yeah.
And he's going away.
I
don't give a damn. I don't care what she said from her pulpit. The fact of the matter is that her words will fade into memory and no one will care, but he will always be in jail and he will never, ever, 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 ever
come out,
live outside of jail. Yeah.
He's
going to be serving 175 years.
Also, who are these people?
A lot of people.
Who are they?
The comment sections have been ridiculous.
What's their deal?
They just think that she was, and this is not partisan. This is across all divides. There are people, whether it's a minority or an even or whatever, there are a large number of people who seem to think that she was being too much. And it's just like,
excuse me?
If anything,
these people need if you are one of these people, serious self-evaluation.
Yeah.
Serious self-evaluation. Not only were these women, right? Mm-hmm. Not only were these women, because there's been a lot going on that front. 2017 told us that. These were children. And, like, you can't...
Well, and it's just...
How do you feel sorry for this man? I don't think this is an egregious abuse
hold on.
power.
I don't think it's not about feeling sorry for him. Their problem is that they felt that she was grandstanding.
Whatever.
And it's like, I honestly don't care. I think that it's her court. She can say what the hell she wants. And if anything, she's flexing. People who say this are also just mad that she's flexing authority muscle. Yeah. And it's like, it's her courtroom. If she wants to give this speech, she's going to give this speech. Yeah. And if you don't like it, don't watch.
Judges,
Authorities
have
they've been making statements forever.
They've all been all kinds of ridiculous in the past. I'll give them that. But this, whatever. Like, we're talking about. I don't know. I don't think she was grandstanding.
No, I thought she was great.
I thought she was.
I thought she said what a lot of people wanted her to say.
She made every point very clear. And especially to the point of, you could have gone away and handled this issue. And you didn't.
Yeah.
Like.
No. I mean,
sorry?
She didn't give a damn about his feelings, and nobody should.
No.
And nobody will again.
Deal with it.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ridiculous. Just disgusting.
I mean, less disgusting, but also ridiculous. This
is more hilarious than disgusting. This next one. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have a good segue for this, so
whatever. No. We'll just move right on. From the Daily Beast today, or not today, but 2 days ago.
In terms of grandstanding.
If you want to talk about Grant. So this headline is from the Daily Beast from 2 days ago. As of this recording, John Kerry seriously considering running for president again. I like this subtitle here. This is really hilarious. 2004 going on 2020.
Mm-hmm. One, I don't think anybody announces 2 years out. I think that's still a little too early.
Is this an official announcement?
No, I think it's just speculation. And this originally came from the Jerusalem Post.
Yeah.
Which I'm surprised that the Daily Beast carried that, because I would have assumed that they would have just rejected anything from the Jerusalem Post, but that's fine. I'm not going to say that they don't like Jews.
No.
I'm just going to say that they don't like Israel.
Right.
I mean, that might not be true, but they certainly don't make it easy to buy it.
Right.
But I mean, there's two parts to this. One, it's just a blip, but it speculates on John Kerry saying that he's seriously considering running for 2020, which is just a one-line quote. And in the same sort of frame, he tells Hussein Aga, who's a confidant of the Palestinian Authority,
right,
President Muhammad Abbas, to not yield to President Trump's demands in the peace talk process. And I'm not sure which is more scandalous, the one, or delusional, the one where John Kerry thinks that he has a shot of winning the presidency. You would think that losing to George W. Bush would make you reconsider your popularity. One. And two, I'm sure that people connect in this world, and that it's always nice to run into somebody that you work next to or work colleagues with on some level. But or knew or ran in the same circles, but it's really weird that John Kerry would presume, as a former Secretary of State, to speak for the current administration, or the former administration against the current. And I don't know that anybody gives a damn what John Kerry says. This may have just been a friendly conversation, a friendly exchange in which this was put in, but I'm not sure that John Kerry even knows what the hell President Trump's and Secretary Tillerson's objectives are in the peace process. I don't think he knows what they are. I don't think Trump knows what they are, but I certainly don't think that John Kerry knows
Sure.
what
Yeah.
the demands are. And what does he
man.
mean? Don't give in to the demand. Don't yield to President Trump's demands.
This
What are
is-
his demands?
This is
Don't shoot
bold.
rockets. You know, there's enough to be upset about in the Israeli and Palestinian conflict.
Yeah, this is bold.
But, you know, allegedly, all of this. But John Kerry needs to piss off, okay? Nobody wanted this man to do anything.
No.
And yet he stuck around the Senate for decades. He ran for president. Lost to George Bush.
Yeah.
And I mean, came in as the backup batter when Hillary Clinton decided to take a few years off from public service.
Yeah.
And leave the State Department. And I don't even know what he accomplished when he was Secretary of State. I don't think he accomplished anything.
I barely remember him being Secretary of State.
He's uninspiring.
Mm.
He can come off as a real jackass sometimes.
Right.
And again, I don't know what the hell he means by President Trump's demands. What are they, John? What are these demands, Mr. Kerry Hines? What? Like, just retire. You married a ketchup princess. Go back home to Massachusetts and just live off your tomato factory wife's wealth. Just go away. Go enjoy retirement. Why don't these people ever enjoy retirement? Do they really think that people want them back that bad? The only person who wants John Kerry to leave home and go do public service is probably his wife, because he keeps opening his mouth to foreign dignitaries.
Oh, my God.
And all she wants to do is relax.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, John.
Yeah.
You know, and then from the Federalist, we get a report of 11 out of 12 vulnerable senators that are seeking re-election this year.
Speaking of subsequent chances. Declining approval. 11 of 12 vulnerable senators seeking 2018 re-election have declining approval ratings.
This is from Evie Fordham. I haven't read anything from
The
her.
Federalist.
Federalist?
The
The Federalist Papers
Federalist.
Project. Yes.
Papers Project.
Um,
Who are these people?
well, there's Robert Menendez, who has a sinking approval rating of -16. There's and he's from New Jersey, but he just got off the hook for a corruption investigation. There's Tammy Baldwin from Wisconsin, both Democrats. Claire McCaskill
No.
in Missouri. And it would be so lovely to see Austin Peterson, everyone's least favorite asshole, who jumped ship from the LP
Right.
to run with the GOP, is taking her on. And there is nothing I would love more than to see Ms. Claire McCaskill taken out by Austin Peterson. Not only would he just be the worst human being in the Senate because he's such a jackass, in a funny way, but he stands a solid chance of beating her. And with her approval ratings declining continuously, she's down 8 points. Boop. You know? Bye, Claire. There's Dean Heller. He's a Republican from Nevada. He's kind of an irrelevant political figure. No one cares about him. No one ever has or will.
John Tester.
From Montana. Mm-hmm. There's Debbie Stabenow from Michigan. And she's just useless. She's just useless Senate fodder.
Bob Casey.
Bob Casey, again, Pennsylvania, an irrelevant political figure. Joe Donnelly from Indiana, a relevant political figure. Joe Manchin, who is the Democrats' favorite cuck to put up. he is a Republican with a D, and he's the Democrat that just goes along with the Trump administration, and not everybody likes it, and he's the least combative of the Democrats in the Senate. Heidi Hellkamp from North Dakota, completely irrelevant. Sherrod Brown from Ohio, significant figure, and he's still up, but he's dropped down 4 points since the last poll in popularity, and it would be amazing to see Ohio throw him out, but he's a significant figure. Right. He is along the lines of Bob Menendez.
Mm-hmm. And then Bill Nelson from Florida.
Completely irrelevant. Completely.
All of these but one
are Democrats. Yeah, it's not. It's going to be really interesting, but the best part is that Democrats still, for some reason, believe that they have an opportunity. All of these people are going to be primaried, and Trump is, I guarantee you, most of them will be primaried out. Menendez will probably make it because he has survived everything. The only thing that he hasn't survived in his political career is like the actual bubonic plague. He survived a corruption investigation that a judge threw out. Okay, like he survived quite a bit. But these are all Democrats except for one.
These are all
and there's enough here to. I mean, the best thing that for Republicans would be to tell Dean Heller, do not run. Don't even get primaried. Just allow for somebody who can sustain a vote to go for it. Because once he drops below that 50% line, it's done. It's not worth it. It's not worth putting a Republican seat through. And you know Trump's team is looking at this going, I'm coming after you, I'm coming after you, I'm coming after you, I'm coming after you. And the worst thing that he can do, second to securing a Republican victory, would be to have a weak primary opponent either defeat them or come close to defeating them, because it would shake their political foundations.
Yeah.
That lack of confidence in their campaigns would do huge damage to their standing in Washington.
Yeah.
Even if they survive the election.
These vulnerabilities are outright. I mean, I don't know where the Democrats come from when they think to themselves that they've got more than a snowball's chance in hell in 2018. Because these numbers are atrocious.
Well, and this is only about half. This isn't even half, because I think there's like 21 senators that are up.
Right.
Or 29. I would have to double check that. I don't know. I know it's a lot. But Democrats, I think it's 29, and Democrats hold 21 of those seats, and the rest are Republicans or something like that. It is a lot of seats that the Senate is going, that are in the Senate that are going up for election this fall. And I mean, there's enough right there to give Republicans a filibuster proof. You know, Trump, it would be amazing if Trump didn't lose Congress.
Right.
In his first midterm election. Well, in his midterm election. We don't know if he's getting reelected. It's a nice joke to keep Democrats on their toes. But if Trump doesn't lose,
was that a joke?
You know what? I'll let the people decide. If Trump doesn't lose the midterm Congress in the midterms, Democrats are legitimately screwed. They have a real problem on their hands. There's still a chance for 2020, but that signifies a huge shift. Because remember, Democrats have to prove something here, but Republicans only have to seem less stupid than people assume they are.
somewhat competent.
And Trump's getting things done, and the polls on tax reform are flipping, just like they knew they were, knew that they were going to. People are incredibly surprised that this is working.
Yeah.
And it's funny that people are surprised that lower taxes are working, but this is the world that we live in, and people don't like the obvious answer, which is don't take people's money as much, if at all. And
unless you're California.
Well, California's having its own problems. Okay?
Yes, also true.
California allowed for deduction for federal income tax against state taxes, and now that those deductions are gone, it's really kicking people in the pisser. And
there's a chance that there will be an exodus of high income.
They're cautious. I don't think they're afraid. They're cautious, but I think that literally like 90% of the rest of the country looks far more appealing as a tax base to put their businesses or their families in.
Yeah.
And so they have to compete with that concept.
I think the funniest part about that is Jerry Brown's response was almost literally, brace yourselves. And I was like, hold on. You're very aware of the fact that you're going to lose tons of people, which also meant tons of government revenue. And instead of actually trying to do anything about it, you're just going to say,
brace yourselves.
Brace yourselves.
Well, thanks to Democrats touching people inappropriately and being assholes, and it's not a party affiliation thing. It just happens to be that the people caught were Democrats. The assembly is no longer a Democrat supermajority, so that's busted. And you would think that at some point in time prior to all of this, that people who were in the know about some of these guys having the bad touch and being sexually inappropriate would kind of get their rank and file members under control and be like, you actually have to behave because you're going to really fuck this up for us. And I mean, it goes back to the old, this is such an old joke. Democrats are assholes and Republicans are idiots.
Right.
Oh, wait, no, edit that out because it's reversed.
What's the difference between a Democrat and a Republican? A Democrat blows, a Republican sucks.
Yeah. And, because it's supposed to be that Democrats are idiots and Republicans are assholes. Yeah. And that joke takes us right into, like, that's going to be my segue joke, so you can leave this part in.
Great.
Because I'm awkwardly going to joke my way into this. Is that Republicans seem to have a significant number of answers all of a sudden. And a Democrat donor, this very morning, it was published, said, Republicans have balls. And for the longest time, Republicans never defended their positions. They never defended their positions on taxes. They never defended or fought for their positions on health care or spending and immigration. They just never did. And, they would give a speech, or they would give an answer at some forum or some, bullshit half-assed position. But Republicans never gave a solid answer on what they actually believe to be immigration. We haven't had a solid policy perspective for Republicans since George Bush was running against Reagan in the 80s. And they both agreed on the openness of immigration and how important it is, and how important it is to make sure that immigrants feel well integrated into American society.
Right.
But that was the 1980 election. And the only reason any of us know that that was said is because there's YouTube and we have those files. But for the first time in a long time, Republicans are pushing back against Democrats on all these policies, and immigration is like the next hurdle. Republicans have been proven right on tax reform so far. It's working in their favor.
Sure.
And immigration seems to be the next step, and Trump's going for it, and he just kind of melted the Democrats' brains with this. With the citizenship thing, and he just backed it. He was like, oh, I think he asked for like a 10 to 15 year thing. It wasn't a hard immigration stance, but he was asking Congress to pass a law or something like that would allow for dreamers to work their way for 10 or 15 years, or whatever the time frame was, to work their way towards citizenship. And it's something that Democrats have always wanted, and it put them on their heels, because either Democrats work with the president on this and create a successful policy position, or they don't, and it proves that Democrats were posturing and using dreamers as a shield and an election tool. So, which way do they go? Either they give in to Trump, who now makes it his policy position.
Right.
Or they go against Trump because resist has to be our thing. We always have to resist.
Right.
Well,
everything he does.
Well, what if the president agrees with you? And also, there's so much doublespeak when it comes to Democrats on immigration. Chuck Schumer, the side-by-side video of Chuck Schumer then versus Chuck Schumer now. On immigration, we have to be strong on our borders. We have to be strong against the anchor baby syndrome or immigration or whatever the hell it is. And the dreamers, sorry about it. You have to go back. We have to be a nation of laws. I always love that. We're a nation of laws.
Right.
Even though Democrats and Republicans pick and choose when to follow them constantly.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what Democrats do about this. They have to do this. But then Chuck Schumer gives up immigration as part of the budget deal. And it's like I don't even know where to start with this. It's like even transitioning from elections into Trump's immigration policy and the dreamers and where these people stand. Coming off of, first of all, only a weekend shutdown.
Sure.
Oh my God, the headlines and the tweets and everybody was like, this is the worst thing that ever happened. And this is so irresponsible.
We're gonna die.
And Friday night the government went dark, and Monday morning it was reopened. And I was like, just sitting there, and this happens every time.
Yeah.
This could have gone on for 3 weeks, and you never would have noticed. And people were like, think of the soldiers. They get paid. They get back pay for this, right? Yeah. All government officials that went to work without clocking in or whatever the official part of it is, or whatever that. I'm sure they use a punch card in Washington. I'm sure that's how far back they are. It just, they get back paid. I don't know why you're worried. I don't know. And then, but what are Democrats going to do about this? Because Democrats have had every position under the sun on immigration, and they're using dreamers as a political shield. I mean, and Trump's saying, let's share the shield. Let's do it. Let's give them a path to citizenship. He wants an end to chain migration. Most Americans polled don't want chain migration. They want merit-based migration. I don't know what they want. All he wants is funding for the wall, and it's like, just give the man a wall. It's not going to be a useful tool.
No.
You know, it's not going to stop anything. Immigration, or migration, however you want to say it, across the Mexican border has been dropping for years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what these people want. Just give the man a wall. We waste money on shit every single day. Just give the man a wall. It's a couple $2 billion. And that's a couple $2 billion that he's not wasting on some military plane that doesn't fly. You know? Who cares? Just give the man a wall. It'll be a nice thing to look at and visit on vacation. You can go see it after you go to Disneyland or something. Stupidest thing.
Oh, man.
And then, are these countries shitholes that we're sending people back to, or are they not? Democrats, answer the question. If it's so horrible to go back there, are they shitholes? And then you get the political answer. Well, they were raised in this country, and it's not that they're shitholes. It's just that there's a different economic climate. Mm-hmm. In Venezuela, they're stoning
Cows. They're stoning cows so they can eat.
Yeah. What exactly is a shithole? I still want to know. And why can't we call a country that is one a shithole? Listen, if you don't have Wi-Fi and you're stoning cows, you're probably not a first world country.
Yeah.
I'm just going to throw that out there. It's not a policy position. It's not a political position that I'm willing to take. It's just, something that until proven otherwise, I'm going to believe.
And there's nothing. And it seems like this was like, people make this out to be an attack on the people of these countries, but it was more an attack on the country itself. I mean, you take a country like Venezuela, right? And this isn't necessarily a problem with the Venezuelan people. There's nothing wrong with Venezuelans, but Maduro's eating empanadas on television while the citizenry starves.
You know the worst part about
He's turned the country into an absolute shithole. And you need to acknowledge this needs to be acknowledged in order for that to be dealt with.
I don't want to be like Maduro, but I'm going to tell you that on this recording, I'm opening this new bottle of beer, so you need to finish yours before this becomes our...
But you're not like Maduro, because I have beer. I still have beer.
Okay, that's fair, because I want you to have more.
Because if you were being Maduro...
But this is different beer, Sean.
I wouldn't even have a glass. And you wouldn't be offering me any.
And I was really offended that video went viral and I didn't get offered an empanada.
Empanadas are delicious.
They are delicious. That's why I was like, even I saw that online and I was like...
I love them shits.
I was like, oh, okay, you're just going to take a quick bite of that off to the side. You're not even going to offer. Yeah. I'm sitting here watching you.
The man was hungry.
You should probably rinse your glass. This one is maple pecan.
I'm frankly not worried about it.
You're going to mix flavors like that?
God, it's like a drop, Jonathan.
Okay, but that's so dangerous.
It's not that dangerous.
What about your palate, Sean?
Oh, my Christ.
He's everybody's Christ.
So he's my Christ, too.
Yeah, but you can't claim ownership.
I'm not claiming ownership.
Just because the Democrats say that Jesus was a socialist doesn't make it true.
What is that?
I don't know. Listen, we're supposed to be talking about dreamers.
We're talking about dreamers. And some dreamers happen to be Venezuelan.
Are they?
With a president who eats empanadas on television in front of a starving country.
I think the dreamers are people who are here.
Yeah, of Venezuelan descent. Is that better?
I guess.
Okay.
I mean, I just want to interrupt this to enjoy this maple pecan.
Yeah, cheers.
Pie. Ale.
Oh, wow. That is sugary.
Wow, that is
That is really sweet.
definitely maple pecan.
Woo!
That's delicious.
High water. God damn it.
They did a really good job.
Every time.
That tastes really good. Wait, are they the ones that do the campfire?
Yes.
Oh,
That is them.
That is my absolute favorite. Why did I think that was Three Rivers?
I don't know, but
Or
High
Two
Water
Rivers.
is like one of my favorite brewing companies. And they're in San Jose. Why have we never been there?
Can we go?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
When are you off next week?
Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah. It's not going to work.
No. All right. Anyways, edit all of this out or whatever.
No. It's fine.
Okay, well, you're the boss. Clean it up then. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. This maple pecan pie, is this a specialty ale? What makes an ale an ale? You know what? We're getting distracted. We're supposed to be talking about people here. And I just wanted more beer. But okay.
So this headline from NBC News. Trump backs citizenship for Dreamers while slashing legal immigration.
Which I think is... I don't even know what to make of that headline. Other than I don't know why they have to be so hateful. This is like the Democrat policy. So what does that mean?
I don't know. This is NBC, but I mean, the headline.
People are so confused.
The headline definitely makes him sound incredibly petty.
I mean, I do like petty Trump. I think petty Trump is probably my favorite Trump. But I don't. Okay. Okay. So he demands for any deal on DACA from the White House, from their side of it, is that there's $25 billion trust fund for a border wall.
Sure.
Which, okay. And an end to family reunification, chain migration, and an end to the diversity visa lottery. In more detail, the White House's position is a call for massive increase in border security, massive decrease in legal immigration. In addition to the $25 billion for border security, it would appropriate funds to add new enforcement officers, immigration judges, prosecutors, yada yada yada. Efforts to deport people. A path to citizenship would be provided to DACA recipients via a 10 to 12-year path that includes a requirement for work, education, and good moral character. I think the 10 to 12-year thing is a bit of a stretch, but I mean, the requirement for work, education, and good moral character, I don't see as being a problem in negotiations.
Right.
And I mean, this article calls this a concession for Democrats, but Trump has wanted things to be legal. He's always said, we have laws, we need to follow the laws. And Democrats, when they run against themselves and they try to keep their seats, they always say, we have to be the party of law and order. We have to be the party of law and order. The 90s Democrats and the early 2000s Democrats, we have to be the party of law and order. These people have to go back. We have to hold the line. We have to, what's a country if the borders aren't secure, blah, 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 blah. All of these things. Democrats always have all of these things to say when they run against themselves. But once they're running against Republicans who say the same thing just in Republicanese, which sounds asshole-ish.
Right. Idiots and assholes.
Democrats have to be the idiots that come out and they're like, you can't deport these people. Blah, 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 blah. You can't, and it's just like, You almost want politicians to have a higher standard, but
Nah.
you also have to understand that these people are politicians and that they will say whatever
To get reelected.
contradictory statement they want. Yeah, to get reelected, and then they save themselves by calling it an evolution of thought.
Yeah.
Um,
What happened to flip-flopping?
only Republicans flip-flop, Democrats evolve.
Well. So does that make John Kerry a Republican?
John Kerry.
Did that make him a Republican? Because he sure went down as a flip-flop.
Well,
I think everyone remembers that election.
that was my first election, and I voted for Bush, only because I honestly did not want John Kerry anywhere near the White House. And I remember that specifically when he became Obama's Secretary of State, and I was like, Jesus Christ! I thought for sure that he would either retire or suffer from the aneurysm that's been plaguing him clearly for decades. And neither of those happened. And I was just like, why? But I don't even, and the best part about this is that, I mean, poor Senator Dick Durbin is just from Illinois, is just being run through the rake over the coals. Like they are so mad at him, and they're mad at Chuck Schumer too. He's their leader, so they can't openly be angry with him. But Dick Durbin has been put on post by this.
Yeah, he is on notice.
And they're just so mad at him. Democrats are so mad at this guy, and they're making him give all the interviews basically because they just don't want to deal with him anymore. And they want him to take the fall for everything. So he's the face of Democratic failure, and all the other lefties are hiding behind his skirts.
Right.
In some room that Chuck Schumer is guarding with his body. And Amy Schumer is probably out there scaring people away. It's a family thing. And this is supposed to be a bipartisan agreement, kind of, that there is one in the Senate between Lindsey Graham and Dick Durbin, that they're leading this, and that they're creating a path to citizenship for the Dreamers. But Dick Durbin's over here like, Dreamers should not be held hostage to President Trump's crusade to tear the families apart and waste billions. Obama tore families apart. What? You know what? It's not worth getting upset about. But
tons of families. No. Tons of families apart. He's still he has a record high number.
Listen,
for deportations. Nobody talks about that. Nobody. Suddenly, we are screaming about Dreamers. Suddenly,
listen,
we're screaming about it.
It is politics. I do get that. I don't like this coming from Dick Durbin. I think that this poor man has suffered enough. So with this guy's been put through everything. He has been the face of cuckery for the Democrats this whole time. He was the one that basically was put on stage to announce their defeat with the budget deal. They're
giving him
the minority
responsibility.
whip. He said, we're viewing immigration and spending on separate terms because they are separate paths. He said that Tuesday.
You got it, Dick.
And listen, everybody, okay, this is not a new phenomenon. This is something that politicians and parties have been using for quite some time, which is to use a social trigger to get an economic position, especially on big legislation like a budget.
Right.
Because that does require 60 votes to pass for appropriations and budgetary legislation, all that good shit. And it's only a continuing resolution, that goes for like 2 weeks or something. It ends like the 9th of February or something like that.
Right.
And Democrats lost the argument on the government shutdown and the spending bill because they tied immigration to this because of the Democrat position on immigration and tying it to the budget.
Yeah.
The government shutdown happened, and people blame the Democrats, and they caved immediately. It was literally closed Friday, open Monday, and
they tried real hard to not. I mean, the Democrats tried real hard to point the finger elsewhere,
and nobody bought it, nobody took it, and it just, what kind of first of all, Democrats overreached. There is a lot of sympathy in this country for these kids. Most of them are young adults now, for the dreamers. There is a lot of sympathy among the general public for them and in their position. It's a tough position.
Yeah, absolutely.
The law is pretty clear, but it is a tough position.
Well, this is a choice they did not make.
It is a choice they did not make, and
I think most people are aware of that.
Yeah, and I think that the thing that I find interesting though is that there's no position that Democrats want. They want a path to citizenship, which is fine. I don't care. I don't understand why Democrats won't try to coax Republicans into a similar thing that they did. The deals that were made around, okay, these are very different subjects, but gay marriage.
Yeah.
The early agreements for recognizing same-sex marriage was to not call it gay marriage or same-sex marriage.
Correct.
What they did is they went with civil unions.
Yeah.
It's civil unions is far more it seems blander. And what I'm getting at with that is that I'm not sure why Democrats aren't trying to ease people into their immigration plan by offering like a mid-step on that of like expanding legal residency. I know we have legal residency that doesn't mean a pathway to citizenship, but I'm surprised that they're not willing to expand that and allow for more parameters to kind of come into play when it comes to how do you become a legal resident.
Sure.
You would think that would be a compromise that Republicans would go for because one, it recognizes them.
Yeah.
It puts dreamers in a legal category with rights.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like a good halfway step.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure why Democrats don't want to do it. I don't know why Democrats want all or nothing. It's not working out for them. And it gives Republicans kind of an opening to be like, this is kind of actually really what we want, but we can't say this because, some of y'all are racist. But
I just think it's crazy. Because this is in terms of the world of politics, this is not the worst deal.
No, it's not
this
the
is
worst
not.
deal.
In fact, it's a compromise. Not the greatest, sure, whatever.
No political compromise is really that great.
No, none of them are. They all suck. But it's enough of a compromise that it's pissed off part of Trump's base.
Oh, from the Daily Wire. They are mad.
Ben Shapiro wrote a great piece on this with the headline in all caps, "Betrayal?" ? Trump unveils immigration plan. Republican hawks start burning MAGA hats.
I mean, first of all, this is what happens when you believe in someone other than Jesus. Okay, there's only one savior. And no politician is ever going to be it. I don't know how widespread this is. I really don't. I don't know that. I I don't know that any person, regardless of political party, actually gives any kind of shit about dreamers, whether they come or go. I think that the easiest answer that most people can come to a consensus on, and it seems like the vast majority of Republicans agree with this, that dreamers should be offered a pathway to citizenship.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
This has to be a small minority of people.
Come on.
It has
They're
to be.
basically Americans.
Well, they were raised here.
Aside from official legal citizenship status, they have been integrated into the culture. They have attended the school systems. They have
they've contributed to them too.
Contributed them too. They're paying taxes.
People forget that just because
they're involved.
I don't know why people assume that immigrants don't pay taxes. There's property tax. There's sales tax. There's it's not employment tax. What the hell is that? Income tax. Yes. That I don't know why people assume that there's no taxes being pulled from immigrants. I don't understand this, or illegal immigrants either. Even if they're renting, sales tax is incorporated into that rent, and that property's paying property tax. Sorry, not sales tax, property tax. If they buy anything, even if they buy it in cash,
there's a sales tax.
They're paying the sales tax if there is one in that state. I mean, it's just
the gas tax.
Yes, literally every tax that every single regular American is paying, immigrants are also paying that tax. And it's like, are they paying into Social Security? I don't know. But do you even want to be paying into? I don't want to be paying into Social Security.
The boomers want us to.
Fuck the boomers.
Cheers.
Most of this shit is their fault anyways. Mostly because they wanted all of the cookies and cream and didn't want to do any of the baking on any of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I mean, it is a totally separate rant to go into Social Security, and I hope that we get to it because I have thoughts on these thoughts. But I'm really tired of the vitriol that comes with immigration. It's not that serious.
It's obnoxious. It's absolutely obnoxious from both sides.
Well, from every side. I don't know. One, libertarians act like complete morons when it comes to immigration. You know, I hate to be the libertarian that I'm a libertarian, but we don't live in a libertarian society. We live in America, and there are rules on the books, and you don't just get to use your philosophy to wipe those away. And that applies to Republicans and Democrats. And I don't know why we're even talking about immigration policy coming from these jackasses when none of them have even supported the laws on the books and fulfilling their obligations. You know, for Democrats, the sanctuary city thing, you're going to have to piss off with that. You know, it doesn't matter if you believe in it. You have an obligation, if you are in a public office, to follow the law. You actually swear an oath to do so. If you disagree with the law, you're in a position to change it. Change the law. Okay, you know, if you need to get a majority in Congress to change the law, that's your path to victory. But holding up government budgets, holding up, you know, general agendas or a presidential agenda. I don't even know why we talk about presidential agendas. The executive is supposed to be following the rules that these jackasses in Congress set forth, and they just refuse to make rules. How do you want to have an immigration policy? You're the ones that set it. It's not a party thing. You guys, as a group, Congress, the House of Representatives, and the Senate set the rules. And President Obama is the one that put a sunset piece on the Dreamers. So President Trump just didn't continue it. And why would he? It's not the law. It's not the law. DACA is Obama's just imagination put to paper. And he wrote the sunset on it. He ended it. Trump just let it end. That's all he did. He just did not continue it. And Trump asked Congress to create a policy. And for months and months and months, Congress deferred their responsibility. And Congress is run by Democrats, or not Democrats, it's run by Republicans right now. They deferred the responsibility. These are irresponsible people who don't want to take the fall for anything. They don't want to have the responsibility of their office. And this is why it's important every time there is an election, the entire House is up for election. No member of the House of Representatives is not up for election. Boot them out. Boot them all out. They've all sacrificed their integrity on this. Not one of them. None of them should be put back into office. Kick them all out. Trump is asking for people to follow the law or create a policy. Congress won't follow the laws that their houses created. I don't care if you don't agree with it. You went to this position knowing that you were going to have to follow the laws. Change them if you don't like them. But if you're not going to change them, you know, sorry, Buttercup. You know, if you want something done with Dreamers and you actually believe it, it's not just a political football for you to kick around for fundraising, then do something for them. Write a law. Pass the legislation. Trump is over here telling you that he wants to follow your plan. He might want to do it a little bit differently. He wants some concessions from you. This is negotiation. You know, make a deal. But if you care, if you actually care, you'll be there for it. If not, you're going to continue doing what you're doing. And the Democrats' position is to shut down the government for a weekend, claiming they care about immigrants, and then cave to the Trump agenda. They don't care. They don't care, you know? And it pisses me off. You've got this small minority of Trump supporters burning their MAGA hats because Trump made an immigration deal or wants to do an immigration deal. You know, God forbid he try to get anything done in that goddamn city. Democrats don't want to do anything, which means that they're totally fine potentially sacrificing the very thing that they shut the government down on in order to continue to #resist. Republicans don't know what the hell to believe because they've never actually stood up for themselves. And here is a so-called Republican, kind of, standing up for himself and not taking any shit from Democrats. And they don't know what to do with it. They're not sure if to follow his lead, but it seems kind of brazen. But he's kind of like, you know, he's kind of like a tough guy, so maybe we should support the president. He has an R behind his name. Republicans are a bunch of cunts. They're just a bunch of cucks in Congress. Democrats, you know, if Republicans are the husbands, Democrats are the boyfriend. You don't get to keep the girl. She's cuddling with the husband, but the husband's not getting the wife. It's just two idiots. These people are all stupid, and I hate them both. I just can't believe the insanity that these people want to, like, just allow to blossom around us. That's why we have this goddamn beer. It tastes like American pie.
We're bothered. Johnny's definitely bothered.
I'm pissed off. Just let them stay. Who cares? Just make them citizens. Make them citizens tomorrow. How about that? Why wait 10 years?
They've already been here.
What? Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they can pass the citizenship exam.
Probably. It's like, what is 10 years? Just make it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or-
Yeah, absolutely.
Make it before February.
Why not?
Every dreamer has to
Why
show
not?
up, take a citizenship test. If you pass, you're an American citizen. Congratulations.
Why not?
Who cares? I mean, what kind of penance do they have to pay?
I don't understand.
They didn't choose to immigrate here.
Right.
You know, and I get the Democrats' position. These people should be allowed to stay, but Democrats want them under the legal radar. They want to keep them in this box that holds them in this, like, oh, maybe today's the day, maybe tomorrow's the day, maybe it's coming up, maybe one day we'll be safe to be in this country without having to fear for our lives. And Republicans do nothing but offer, barely any encouragement that they won't be treated ridiculously. And it's like, if you don't like these laws, just change the law.
Yeah.
You're the Congress. Just make them citizens. It's literally your responsibility. You can do it. If you cared, you would do it. If you cared when you had a supermajority, you could have done it then.
Right.
Remember those first 2 years of the Obama administration? You could have done it then.
Nope.
It's just so much fuckery. I just can't stand it. And Dreamers over here like, Democrats, we need Democrats in office because we need to feel safe. And I'm like,
for what?
There are a lot of Democrats in office. Did you feel safe then? Because I don't think you did. What
is that?
Just make them citizens. I
ICE was deporting the fuck out of people when the Democrats had a supermajority under Obama's administration.
It's because Obama's half black. They didn't care. They couldn't go after him.
Oh, Christ.
It wasn't PC. Or what? Who cares? I don't. The Democrats only want the Dreamers under their thumb and on their side to be the political football. That's it. That's all they want. They don't want to help them. They don't want to do anything for them. They want to pay them lip service and not perform.
Yeah.
They just want to sell the ticket. They want to campaign on it so that their Democrat voting base can feel good about the sentiment, but not actually accomplish anything. Because, I think that's the worst part. That's kind of the Democrat voter. Feel good, accomplish nothing about. I
think that's the
your
worst
political
part.
Perspective.
I think it's the worst part about this entire thing. They're using a segment of the population, whether they're legal or not.
Right.
They're using a segment of the population as a bargaining chip.
Well, that is politics. Okay,
right.
So
but as an ad, it's not even a real bargaining chip though. They're not actually cashing it in.
They don't care.
They're not actually putting chips on the table.
But it's like on the reverse side.
They're bluffing without a bet.
If Democrats want their voter base to feel good and accomplish nothing, Republicans want their voter base to feel enraged and accomplish nothing. And
correct.
It's the way it goes, and it's called manipulation. And these people don't give a shit.
No.
They don't give a shit about Dreamers. They don't give a shit about... Trump just imposed a tariff on washing machines from overseas.
Yeah.
And as if washing machine manufacturing is a thing that Americans need significantly increased. There's no clear vision from either side. And put together, two halves don't make a whole. Two halves make two asses.
Mm-hmm.
It's just two different assholes. I can't believe that people still believe these people are going to do their jobs. They don't. Everyone's surprised that tax reform happened, but tax reform, it has it's not a perfect tax reform. I don't know what that means, but it's not perfect for everybody. As the California tax position takes shape and they understand that higher earning citizens here are going to be a little bit bumped up. It's just stupid. Everybody's dumb. But you know, I don't everybody's really mad about it, and it's just, I don't know. You can just cut all this. I have no more thoughts. It's just obnoxious. The Democrats are...
Stop asking me to edit shit.
You're going to do it.
No, I'm not.
Yes.
No, I'm not.
I don't know. Republicans are assholes and Democrats are idiots. That's the lesson here. It's not even a joke anymore. It's just the lesson.
On that note, I want to thank everyone for listening to Boozed and Bothered this week.
Yeah, we're such joys.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/boozedandbothered. Find us on Twitter at @boozedandbothered.
And you're more than welcome to send us pictures of your burning MAGA hats.
Yes, actually, please do.
Or your burning I'm with her buttons, too.
Yeah. Or together. In like a pile together would be tons of fun.
Because she can kick rocks, too.
Amen. Yeah. We're not saying this government would have been any better run with Hillary in office. So don't put those words in our mouth. And find us also at boozedandbothered.com. You can listen to us on SoundCloud, Google Play, and iTunes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Good night or whatever.
Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful night or week or
don't.
Or don't. Stuff and shit.
You know what? You can have whatever kind of night you want.
Yeah, that's fine. Jesus Christ.